Well, hello there, my beautiful warrior goddesses. How are you all today? I'm going live with our live Q&A to ask me anything and I will answer it. And you have been asking me questions by email and in Facebook and in my groups. So I have a bundle of questions for to answer. And also you can ask me live. So as people are coming in, come say hi. I'll introduce myself. My name is Lisa Barwise, and I consider myself a wellness alchemist and fitness feminist. That means that I'm the kick-ass catalyst in the transformation of women around the world to become stronger of mind, body, and character. And I'm the creator of Warrior Goddess Kettlebell Training and the hostess with the mostess of the Goddess Got Goals podcast. And I'm here today to answer your questions. That's why we're here. So we're going to be talking today specifically mostly about kettlebell training questions, body shape change questions. I've got questions about how to get started with macros. I've got questions about gluten and dairy. I've got questions about hormones and menopause. I think I've got questions, I've written them down here. I have got questions about spirulina, got questions about following a meal plan. So do let me know if you have questions so that I can add it to it. So I will kick off with the ones that I already have. And then as you guys are coming on live and seeing me live, I will answer those questions too. I will also use my time to answer any specific questions about our Sexy Strong program, or if you have any questions about the Goddess Got Goals movement, mindset, and motivation membership as well, because we're currently launching in the middle of that. We are doing our big Sexy Strong program launch. And we have an amazing offer out at the moment. And we're also kicking off tonight with our monthly masterclass, which is all about mindset. And today's topic is about overcoming self-sabotages and sabotages and the mindset shifts you need to help with that. Yeah. So if you join the Sexy Strong program or our community today, you will have access to our monthly call. Yeah, which kicks off at 7 p.m. UK time tonight. So questions. So the first question that I have that I'm going to answer, and then I want you guys as as things come up, go ahead and write them in the comments below. We are going live via StreamYard, which means that I don't always see your name. So if you want to go over to streamyard.com/Facebook, tick a little box, I'll see your face and name. But if you don't have time or don't want to do that, I understand. Just write your name at the end of it. Okay. So whatever your name is, Ruth or Joe or Beth or whatever, you can just let me know at the end. Okay. So let's start with this question that I have, right? Which is a kettlebell question, which I love. And it's question and, challenge or concern, which is, why do I really need an 8 kilo or a 15-pound kettlebell? And can I not just get started with something smaller or lighter? Right. And I want to answer this one because it also came with I tried to swing a bell and I really injured myself type of response. So, couple of things I want to say here is when you download free workouts from the internet, right? And you're downloading those and you're not also looking for the instructions of how to follow that, or you're not following like a quick start toolkit, or you're not getting the advice on how to do those movements, specifically with kettlebell training, there's very little an online personal trainer can do. This is why I'm not a big fan of giving you lots of free downloads and loads of free workouts. I've got to be really honest about that, right? Because what we've found is that kettlebell training, it's just a little bit more of a practice. It's like yoga, right? And martial arts. So if you're doing, the practice incorrect, you haven't got good form for certain things, can it result in injury? Yes, but so can any sort of strength training, martial art, or yoga practice, right? It's really about you learning that it's not just because you own a kettlebell doesn't mean that you're doing kettlebell training. So I understand and feel your concern when you're like, okay, you want me to do a swing with an 8 kilo or a 15-pounder. That feels very heavy and I don't feel ready. So what I would say is this. The answer is yes, you do need an 8 kilo or 15-pound kettlebell to get started. But what we recommend in our free 10-minute, the best 10-minute kettlebell practices download, which we give you, is a very step-by-step system to get started. And we don't start with kettlebell swings. We start with a single arm deadlift, which you need to learn how to do in order to be better at kettlebell swings. So first of all, you can download that for free. Go ahead right now, warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/10 minutes. So 10mins. If you go there, you can download that. You'll have video instruction from me, in addition to diagrams of how to do the movements. It's a free PDF, people. Okay, so I want you to manage those expectations of what you're getting there. But we do suggest that you start with an 8 kilo, because you won't be able to do these movements any lighter. You'll just be doing like bicep curls or front raises and not doing it. You need the heaviness of the bell to work out and balance out and use leverage with your hip hinge action. And women, we're a lot stronger in our hips and using the hip hinge action than men even are, pound for pound. So we are stronger than we think that we are, but we do want you doing it correctly and well, right? So that you feel assured and secure that they're working out well. If you want to really kickstart your kettlebell training journey, we have a $17 quick start toolkit. It's $17, right? If you go to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/toolkit, it also has those 10-minute workouts in it. You'll be able to grab that and you'll have me going through it very quickly, but very safely, teaching you how to do the hip hinge movement safely so you can begin swinging your bells. We're also going to teach you in there exactly where to get your bell, what type of bell to get, so that you will save yourself energy, right? And save yourself money and potentially the injuries as well. Okay, hope that was helpful. Next question I have is to do with macros. Okay, so macros. Do we know anything about macros? This question came from one of our current boot campers, our superhero school online boot campers, and the importance of macros and understanding macros, etc. So let me start from the very beginning. What the heck even is a macro, and is it even something that you need to worry yourself about? So the answer is a macro is macronutrients, okay? So when it comes to body shape change and the goal of body shape change, you want to be building lean muscle while burning fat. This is not about calories in and calories out. It's about building lean muscle and burning fat, simultaneous processes, okay? Now, you need to be eating differently to build muscle than you do to be burning fat. How we do this in our community is with our 7-day carb cycle formula. Good news is I've got a free download all about that, right? So I'm not going to be able to answer comprehensively here today because it would take me a long time. But our free download, if you go to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/carb cycling, CARBSCYCLING, carb cycling, you'll be able to download that. And I take you through it step by step. But the basics of what you need to know is that it's not just about calories in, calories out. It's not about doing cardio to burn calories, and it's not about reducing your calories. That's the weight loss protocol, right? And it doesn't necessarily work too well for women over 40 because cardio really won't have the impact that you're looking for. If you are looking to lose, a pound here or there, you may get some results with that. But generally, when people come and listen to Warrior Goddess Kettlebell Training, they want significant body shape change. They want a lean, strong, and curvy warrior goddess or superhero body. And in order to achieve that, it has to come down to building lean muscle and burning fat. So when it comes to macronutrients, your macronutrients are proteins, carbs, and fats. Alcohol is also known as a macronutrient, but we'll just stick with these three. You want to be able to manipulate how you eat those, right? And where you're getting your calories from in those macronutrients. So how many calories and grams of protein do you need to be eating consistently to build that little muscle, right? To build the muscle? How many grams of carbs per day am I needing to eat in order to build muscle, right? How am I going to be in a calorie surplus, calorie deficit? There's a lot of different terms with regards to this. Now, generally, it can sound quite complicated, and I feel your pain, right? I feel your pain. And when we create our 7-day carb cycle, it does look a little bit complicated with the front end. Not going to lie, right? But it's the only way for you to build muscle and burn fat at the same time, for you to be able to stay lean whilst you're building. Yep. And that's really what women want, without having to do 3 hours in the gym where you're doing one hour of lifting and 2 hours of cardio, which is the bodybuilding method. So for us to achieve our warrior goddess body or your superhero body, we use kettlebell training, which is no more than 3 at maybe 4 30-minute workouts a week, to help build that muscle. Yeah, get you stronger. And we combine that with carb cycling, our 7-day carb cycle, where we tell you exactly the different macronutrients you need to be eating over 7 days so that you can be building lean muscle and burning fat at the same time. So, is it a little bit complicated? Yeah, I'm not going to lie, it can sound complicated at the beginning, but it's scientifically proven to work. I've had hundreds of ladies, actually, we're nearly up to 1,000 ladies go through my different challenges and programs using this formula, and that's what delivers the results. However, um, can you do it yourself? Can you work it out? Yep, I've got lots and lots of different tools. We have our meal planning and tracking workshop, which you can check out, warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/PPTW, plan, prep, track workshop. I think that's what it is. And that takes you through step by step how to set up your macronutrients, how to set up your 7-day carb cycle, how to begin using MyFitnessPal to do that. The other concern was that do you need the premium version of MyFitnessPal to do this? So there are different options, and I want to talk about that. So at the beginning, all of this is just to teach you a couple of things, right? We want to give you the answer to this question. What do I get to eat today? What do I need to be eating to achieve my body shape change goals, right? What do I need to be eating? What does my plate need to look like? How is my plate going to be filled up? So we've just created a formula to do that. But wouldn't it be great for you to be able to answer, what do I get to eat today rather than how much am I starving myself today? Right? It's a completely different way of looking at it. So we want you to eat toward your goals and train toward your goals. So in order to know what you need to be eating, and because you're different to you and you based on your hormones, your stage of life, how active you are already, what your goals are, all of these things, we needed to create a formula to do that. So if you are somebody who wants to have a goal of changing significantly their body shape over 4 to 6 months, for example, then you need to be way more accurate with exactly what you're eating. And in order to be accurate, you need a tool to measure that. And that's why we use MyFitnessPal. So MyFitnessPal offers a way that you can track your macros, and we show you how to set all that up in our Sexy Strong program. We've got videos, we've got tutorials. Our app, our Warrior Goddess app, syncs with MyFitnessPal so that you know exactly what training you're doing and exactly what eating you're doing each individual day. But we also have meal plans, because sometimes at the beginning of this journey, it can be a little bit overwhelming because you're trying to learn the kettlebell training, you're trying to do these new habits, you're trying to do all X, Y, and Z. So we just want to make it super simple, and we just teach you about carb cycling as you go through it and get the results and the kickstart, and as you're developing your kettlebell training habit. And then once you've got a little bit more consistency and momentum, then we can add a bit of complexity. The thing about MyFitnessPal is, in my experience, you only really need to be really super accurate in tracking at the beginning so that you can learn the process. So normally about a month of consistent tracking will give you the answers that you need of, well, what does 20 grams of protein look like? What does 30 grams of carbs look like on a plate, and with rice or potato or all of those things, right? And then when you start to know that, you can trust yourself and build what we call a sense of intuitive eating, right? So that in order to eat intuitively, I believe you need to eat accurately. So in order to know what accurately is, i.e., what does 30 grams of protein look like, right? In pork, how many chicken breasts do I need to be eating of that, right? Or how much rice can I have, for my dinner, based on the fact that you've tracked it. And so therefore, the first month is free with MyFitnessPal. And then I think it's either $9.99 or $12.99 a month. And honestly, in our Sexy Strong community, you may only stay on the paid version for a couple of months, and then it only becomes really important when you're doing more of a shred, or when you're doing more of a very accurate fat loss or a cut style process. And that's when you'll obviously want to use scales for accuracy and use MyFitnessPal. In my experience, those that want the results will spend the money to do the thing. Okay. And I know that money is tight right now. And I know that you're like, Lisa, you're asking me to spend money on this and spend money on that. And what about the food costs? And what about kettlebells? I get it. I spent, I think, 1 year over £5,000 on my goals. because I had a personal trainer twice a week. I was buying all these supplements. I was doing this thing, but I was able to do that even as a single parent that was self-employed, right? Because it was important to me. I gave up certain other things that weren't as important. I don't have TV, for example, don't have Sky, I didn't go on as many holidays or those sorts of things. I don't have expensive handbags, you know. So I always say if something's important to you, you'll figure out a way, whether that's financially, whether that's time, whether that's your energy. Yeah. And I get that money is tight, and I'm not in any way poo-pooing or trying to skip past that. I'm honoring that, and I know that investment in your time and money is important. But for me, what took me a 4-year journey, I'm able to shortcut with my clients in 6 to 12 months, right? Because I had to go through a lot of learning and try this supplement and do this workout and buy this thing and use this, go with this trainer and whatever. Whereas I've been able to condense that into a way that will save you the time, the money, and the energy, because I know what works and what doesn't. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me see if there's any questions or comments come in. Do let us know if you've got any questions as we talk about the things. Okay, I've got a couple more here. And I think this is a follow-up from the macros. So can I still eat what I eat for my lunch? So as a personal trainer, as a holistic health coach, as a qualified nutritionist, as all of the above, I am never able to answer this question. And I don't think any of us in this field can. Why? Because we need about 7 follow-up questions. Number one being, can I still eat what I eat for my lunch? Well, the question is, well, then what are your goals? What are you working towards right now? Are you working towards recovering from injury? Are you working to, lose a little bit of weight? No. Are you looking significant body shape change? Are you wanting to build lean muscle? I also need to know, well, what do you currently eat for your lunch? And then we need to be able to do the calculations of, okay, well, let's look at what your TD calculation, your total daily energy expenditure is, and then work out, well, what are you eating for your breakfast and what are you eating, you're eating for dinner, right? So although a lot of the time when I get these questions, some people will be like, oh, people can't trust themselves. They don't know whether they should or shouldn't be eating that. But the reason why they don't know is because they haven't measured it. There's no baseline. Whereas what we provide you with is the answer to the question, what do I get to eat today? Right? But I can't answer that for you right now until you've gone through a goal setting process. What do you want? What do you want to actually achieve? How long is it going to take you to get there? So when, again, people say to me, which is another question I have, should I also be doing yoga? It's the same thing. What are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? And how long do you want to be doing it and try to achieve that? Like, what's your time frame? And also, how much time and energy do you have right now? Because, for example, if you're working a full-time job and you've got teenagers and you're trying to look after a house and your partner and you've got a dog and you're doing all of these things, personally, I'm only going to be doing things that make my progress move forward as fast as possible, right? I want to spend my time and energy and focus and my money on things that make progress. So if you're saying to me, should I be eating this or should I be doing yoga, or asking me these questions, it still comes back down to, I want to achieve this. So I want to lose 5% body fat in 6 weeks, right? And I currently only have about an hour a day to work on things, X, Y, and Z, right? So the answer would be no, I wouldn't do yoga. I would just focus on strength training and spend all the extra energy and time you have on meal planning and sleeping. That would be it. Right? So if I can still eat what I have for my lunch, well, are you eating in your lunch gluten and dairy and there's sugary snacks? Okay. Or if you're a vegetarian and you're just eating a lot of bread and you're getting a lot of carbs, but you're not getting a lot of protein, then no, you can't still eat what you eat for your lunch if you want to achieve that goal by this amount of time. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Right? So we can't answer that question unless we know what your goal is, what sort of time or what's realistic for you to actually achieve that. And then, well, what am I eating for lunch? Or, okay, if I want to do yoga, is it because I want to do yoga because why? Well, okay, I want to achieve my body shape change, but I've also got a bit of an injury. This is the thing, is that women try to do so much and work towards so many goals in like a 6-week process, that this is why we end up burnt out and exhausted, and why I had to create a whole PDF and community to stop being women burnt out and exhausted, right? Is because we need to understand, what are your goals? What are you working for? What's the most important thing right now? And then doing the exact most efficient, effective things to achieve that. Focusing your time, your money, your energy all on that particular one goal, and not try to go for 100 million at once. Because that's what happens, is we don't achieve it because nobody could achieve it. It's not humanly possible. And then we think, oh, we just get frustrated, and we either double down and really burn ourselves out, or we just walk away going, oh, this is never going to work. It's never going to work for me, when really it was unrealistic to begin with. Unrealistic expectations are the biggest reason why women fail when it comes to body shape change and other wellness goals. Because we have unrealistic expectations, we haven't clarified our goals. When you're very specific, and why we have our body shape change calculator, right? You can go check that out, by the way. It's a freebie. Another one. Go to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/geek, GEEK, and you will find a tool that will tell you exactly how long it's going to take you, how much percent body fat, what workouts you need to be doing. You have a very visual representation of where you are now and where you want to be. And that is how I can then answer those questions. So if you're in our boot camp right now and you're still asking me questions of, well, what about this and what about that? I still need to know the answer of your goals. Okay. So, and the answer is not, I want to lose a bit of weight. It's not. It's just not, because you're talking to Warrior Goddess Kettlebell Training right now. Right? We know you want to get stronger. We know you want significant body shape change. You want to feel sexier and confident and lean and strong and curvy and have a warrior goddess body or a superhero body. That's what we're here for, right? All of those goals, by the way, perfectly okay for you to have as your goals. We're here to support whatever it is that you want, but I'm here to tell you what's achievable and realistic, and to be able to go follow these steps, do this, and that will be how you make progress. That's it, right? Okay, here's one. How do I follow a meal plan if my family eats differently to me? That was the one that came through. Okay, so how do I follow a meal plan if my family eats differently to me? So this is the last question I'm going to do today, unless anything comes in. So, oh, there's Michelle on board. Hello, Michelle. So, how do I follow a meal plan if my family eats different to me? Or how do I follow the different eating protocol if my family eats different to me, right? And I get this one a lot. This is what I'll say, right? It all comes down to your goals and what's important to you. And also, I did a podcast this week, last week, called Goals Without Discipline and Willpower. Like, is it possible to achieve your goals with that? And my answer, I believe that the answer is yes. But what we need to replace with that pushing willpower, discipline, masculine energy is a sense of integrity. Other coaches also maybe use the word leverage. I don't like that word. I think it's a masculine word, right? Nothing wrong with it. Don't think it really resonated with me, but integrity did. So integrity is, I want to have my inner me be reflected on the outside. So I want to know, I want my behaviors, my actions, my habits to be a reflection of my character, of my goals, of my dreams, of my wishes, right? And then it becomes a lot easier for me to take action and to do those behaviors. So when my beliefs and my behaviors match up, that's integrity to me. Now, if you're not doing the work on your beliefs, if you're not doing the work on your mindset stuff, then that's why it's going to be really hard for you to make physical changes. So how does this relate to that question? How do I follow a meal plan if my family eats different to me? It's got to come down to this. What is important to you? What is the reason, or why are you doing what you're doing? What are the goals? What is your something larger, your something bigger, your something important that you're trying to achieve? So I'll give you my example. I'm a single parent. Both of my parents died by age of 61 from degenerative diseases that could have been avoided by lifestyle changes. They smoked, they drank, they didn't eat well, and neither of them exercised, right? And that's why at age 60 and 61, both parents passed away. right, within a year of each other, leaving me at just before, I think it was just 22, no, 21, turning 22 when they passed. So I've been orphaned at that age. And then when I became a single parent, I was like, I ain't this ain't happening to me. I'm going to be here for every one of Josh's milestones. Now, I tell Josh this story all the time, and he's still laughing. Like, nearly 17 now, and he thinks it's hilarious because I'm like, no, I'm going to my 90s and my hundreds. I'm going to be around. I'm going to be kicking ass and taking names and causing trouble. As that little gray-haired granny is still in the gym doing the stuff, right? Because that's what's important to me. So for me, wellness is not just a goal. Wellness is my life's mission. So for me, longevity, understanding how to not just age backwards or age gracefully or whatever. I want to live without disease, without injury, have amazingly clear arteries, have amazingly clear brain. I want no autoimmune conditions, no sicknesses, no injuries. I don't want, I want all of my bones and muscles and tendons and all to be strong and working. This is why I do kettlebell training and strength training. This is why I eat plant-based. This is why I don't eat gluten and dairy. I very rarely eat a lot of processed sugar. I don't really drink. And I walk and I get out in nature and I meditate and I do all the things and breath work and all of these things. I take my supplements. I don't get sick. And if I feel niggles or pain or whatever, I take action towards them, right? So that is leverage. That's integrity. My inner person is exactly the same as this person that you see. When you see me take actions every single day on my wellness, it's because that's what's important to me. So when it comes to following a meal plan or, you've got goals and your family aren't quite on board, you need to work a way around that because that's important to you. So it has to come from that first and foremost, and then we can come up with different strategies and ideas and tweaks and hacks. But if it's not coming from that place first, that sense of leverage, that sense of, well, I'm doing this because this is friggin' important. This is my life. This is me being around for all my kids. This is me being strong and able and fit and capable and disease-free and pain-free, right? That's important to me. So, okay, if you're not on board with this, we've got to make it work. Or financially, I'm stuck. Well, what am I not going to spend my money on instead? Right? You need to have that sense of leverage. Now, sometimes that leverage can feel like a holy shit leverage, right? It can feel really like drastic. Okay, you'd maybe hit rock bottom, you feel really anxious and depressed. For me, mine was pretty rock bottom, right? No parents, single parent, made the decision that I'm going to be around. I'm the only thing he has. So it's not even like that analogy of, I got to stick my mask on first before his. It's beyond that. Like, I eat before sometimes he does. I look after my own food or pack lunches and stuff like that before his, right? Because if I don't look after me first and foremost, he's got none. And you might be judging that as selfish or being a bad parent or whatever. I really don't care because that's what I have to do to achieve my ultimate wellness goals, which is to be around for a very, very long time for all of his milestones as not somebody that he has to care for, right? That I can do it independently and probably kick ass as well, right? So when it comes to any of those sorts of questions, I don't have supportive family. I'm going to be eating differently to that. Now, I can give you the strategies and the hacks and the tips, right? Which is, our meal plans, a lot of the kids like to eat the food that's on it. You can tweak certain things so that, again, if you're not having to spend twice on things, but ultimately a 28-day meal plan, it's a month of your life, right? Can you do it following a month meal plan? Most people can do that. And it might mean that you're eating differently and you're cooking twice and you're having to deal with sort out the leftovers. You're maybe having to penny pinch or make some tweaks and stuff to make it work for you. But that's what we're talking about here. Yeah? Okay. Okay. So I didn't want to go past the half hour with my Q&A, so we're getting close to that now. But let me know, do you have any other specific questions? What I am going to talk about here is one of the questions I got about the Sexy Strong program as well. So I'm just going to wait in case anybody has a comment while I'm on live. Do let me know. I will go back and answer comments if I've missed them here as they've come up in the system. Oh, Michelle Green, good morning. I'm looking to buy kettlebells. Do you have any recommendations on weights? Yes. So the very first question at the beginning of this talked about why you need you need to definitely get yourself an 8 kilo or a 15 or 18 pound, right? And you can start with one. We have a free workout called warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/10 minutes, 10 MINS, which will give you 10 starting from 10-minute beginners kettlebell workouts, and it starts you with proper progressive overload. So it'll start you with the movements that you need to practice with, working on your hip hinge, and that's a free workout. Now, if you want help, because we get asked this a lot, we have what we call our quick start toolkit. So it's literally got where to get your kettlebells, what size to get them, if what country you're in, there's links. We've tried to source the best ones. We then take you through everything from setting up your workout space to how to do the hip hinge so that you can swing the bell correctly. And then you've got those 10-minute workouts. You can download that quick start toolkit for $17. It's not expensive. Go to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/toolkit and you can grab it there. As I said, 17 bucks, but you'll save that on getting the right kettlebell, so you won't have to buy twice. Tells you exactly what sizes to get started, setting up your space. Everything is there. Okay. If you don't want to spend an extra $17, I understand money is tight. You can also go to our blog where we have lots of free resources on guide to buying your first kettlebell, guide to beginner's guide to kettlebell training. So go to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/blog, or just go to our website and you'll see the blog in there. And it's one of our getting started with kettlebell training resources. I've got videos of me taking you through all the bells, what the bells should look like, what they shouldn't look like, to help you to make sure that you buy right and don't buy twice. Am I particularly picky about the bells that I want you to get? You betcha. But here's what I'm going to tell you for everybody listening here. You are worthy of the effort of doing it right. You are worthy of spending the time, money, and energy to do this right for you right now, right? You are worthy. Don't half-ass it. Don't second guess it. Don't say, oh, sure, it's good enough, right? I want you to do this right for yourself. So whether that means spending an extra 10 minutes now going on over to the blog and checking out those videos, go do that. It's free. warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com, right? We've got a blog. One of the first things is getting started with kettlebells. Boom. Okay, it'll help you there. Getting the toolkit is our next. There's a cost to it. It's $17, which I think is like 15 quid. But you'll save that in time and money and energy. So go over to the toolkit, or don't just go, oh, well, sure, I've seen something on, because I get this a lot. Oh, I've seen something, I was in Decathlon or I was in the store and they had one, but it's one of those plastic ones. No, 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 no. Or it's got square handles. No, 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 no. And there are reasons why we say this. I'm not just being picky because I'm picky. I am picky, but because they won't last you very long. They might shred your hands. They might give you bruises along here. In my experience, if something gives you bruises or it doesn't feel good, you're not going to keep it. You're not going to keep going. Also, as you progress, you're going to want to do slightly more advanced moves, and having bells that shred your hands or don't hurt your hands, again, you're not going to progress because you're going to avoid those movements. Okay? I know that was a very comprehensive answer, but I really want you to hear that message. You are worthy of spending the extra time, money, or energy right now to do it right for you. Don't just half-ass it. Don't second guess yourself. I've been there and I've had to buy again and I've had to do all the things. Yes, Michelle, thank you too. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was the Sexy Strong program. Somebody asked me today, well, Lisa, do I really need all this? And the answer is no. You don't need all of the Sexy Strong program, right? Yes, do we give extra bonuses? We give extra support. This is what I've known about providing a program that offers offers 12 months of support, is that it's going to take you longer than you think. right? Now, in there, we literally lay everything out step by step by step by step. As you know anything about me, I'm a step by step girl, right? It's everything from, what you have to learn in terms of skills and new habits that we want you to help you with, and the mindset stuff and the motivation stuff. But what workouts to do, how you're going to be eating every day, how to sleep and rest accurately. Yeah, very important. Um, but this is what's going to happen, right? Because this happens to every single person in our community. You start a program, you get very excited. We've built the first 6 weeks so that you get a good sense of momentum. And that kickstart will give you a sense of progress, right? And where you're maybe losing, anywhere between 12 and 16, or we've had somebody lose 19 pounds in the first 6 weeks, right? That gives you that head start. Then you don't mind investing a little bit more time and energy into working out things like macros, and start doing things for yourself, and start doing a little bit more challenging workouts. That's going to get you losing between 2 and 4% per month of the body fat, but getting stronger, getting fitter, etc. Now, this is what's going to happen. As soon as something gets a little bit difficult, either in your workspace or in life, or kids get sick, or you change jobs, or you have to relocate, or you're traveling, you fall off. So even if you've had the best amount of momentum and you're one of our unicorns in our program and you're kicking ass and you're taking names, something happens and you fall off. Now, you need to have that full 12 months of support, because you might need to take a bit of time off. That's okay. Or you might need to learn the skill of resilience and bounce back ability. We have what we have in our community, the comeback plan, where we help you to come back if you've had time off. So you know when to slot back in, how to get yourself moving again, how to get yourself eating in the way again, and then get the momentum back up again. So you're going to come across that a couple of times within the full year. So although it's probably going to take you between 6 months and 12 months to achieve the goals that you're looking at, you're going to be maybe falling off and getting back on, and trying to build up this persistence muscle, as we call it, or bounce back ability, or resilience, to keep going. So a long-term goal requires more support. That's it, right? It's a different mindset shift of the motivation that you need. And it's not about focusing on the goal, it's learning the habit goals along the way, and dealing with the mindset stuff that comes up when you're like deep in the valley of disappointment, of like, oh my God, this is taking forever. And am I even making progress? And oh my goodness, I don't know how I feel about everything. And where you get the case of the fuckets, which is what we talked about on the podcast, and you just want to give up. So the Sexy Strong program has every tool, every step that you need, and the full 12 months of support to get there. Because honestly, that's maybe what it's going to take for you. And we're here to do it. Have people, finished the full 12-month program? Yes. Have they got amazing results? Yes. Have some people done consistently 6 months and then fell off a few times and then came back? And because you've got lifetime access, you've got 12 months of support, but you have lifetime access to all of the tools. So we're here to help you to achieve the goal. And it might take you a little bit longer. And you might need that extra support and that extra accountability, and knowing that that's there for you, even if you need to take a break, or if life gets difficult, or if life changes smack bang in the middle of it, which we've had people like move and all of these different things. So I really wanted to answer that question of, people are like, it sounds awfully comical, or it sounds like there's a lot going on. Not really. In essence, what you're getting is an eating plan, a training plan, self-care, and support and accountability through coaching in our community. But I've also thrown in some amazing different bonuses and tools and stuff that are going to just help you to get back on track when you need to, or do the mindset, the work that you need to, or learn about meditation, or why it's important to track your macros, or how best to do that, or how to be more efficient at doing that, right? That's really what it's about. Okay, my lovelies. So thank you so much for being part of my live Q&A today. I very much enjoyed myself, as always. Just know that our registration is open for our Sexy Strong program right now. If you go over to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/hell yeah, that's HELLYEAH, you can find out all about that. We are here for the next 7 days with this offer, with these bonuses, and with our most effective and easy payment plan options. We are doing our monthly masterclass, which is our mindset masterclass, all about overcoming self sabotage and self sabotaging behavior. If you want to join us today in the Sexy Strong program, you can join us then for that masterclass later on this evening. If you can't make it live, you'll get access to the replay and the full library of all of those amazing things. And that's what I want to tell you about today as well. I want to make sure I tick that off my list of things to tell you about. So again, you can go on over to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/hell yeah, because if it's ain't a hell yeah, then it's a no. And we really would love for you to be a part of our Sexy Strong community and find out more about developing the strength, belief, and body of a superhero and get the full access to all those tools and support. All right, my lovelies, I look forward to catching up with you all again soon. You might see my face. You'll definitely be in your inboxes. And of course, as always, on social media. But if you have a specific question that you just remembered after this, please just reach out via email, hello@warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com. You can reply to any of the emails that I send out to you. And of course, if you're part of our tribe community or our insiders group, you can ask questions of me in there. I'm there to help and support you to follow our programs or to be a part of our community. Or if you're listening to the podcast, I'm always here to help you with anything that I can at the time. All right, my lovelies, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Have an amazing Valentine's Day tomorrow or Galentine's Day tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you all maybe again soon. Peace out.